Hello my girlies, welcome back to a brand new video. Okay, it's your girl Riley. Today I am finally back with another horror movie review. Okay, I haven't done these in a long time and I do apologize because I know I always mentioned before that this is usually what I started my YouTube comeback with, was reviewing horror movies, and then I just haven't done them in a long time. So for those of you who really enjoyed them, I'm sorry that I just haven't continued with them. Okay, I think the last one I did was honestly like, I think the Five Nights at Freddy's movies, and then before that I think it was like Terrifier 2, which, yeah, it's been a while. Okay, but anyways, you guys saw the title, you guys saw the thumbnail. Okay, you guys already know me. We are here to talk about Maxine. Okay, first of all, I just have to say I am a big fan of this X trilogy. Okay, I know some people may or may not have mixed up feelings with all of them together, you know what I mean. The X movie I think was such a good horror movie. Like, I think that one, when I first watched it for the first time, it brought back that like vibe of like watching like all these old classic slasher movies. Like, it just gave off that like vintage vibe almost, and plus the casting was amazing. Like Mia Goth, for starters, who's literally the star of these movies, and then also Jenna Ortega, who I just love so much. Okay, and yeah, I love X. Okay, Pearl, on the other hand, to me was one of my favorite movies. However, not one of my favorite horror movies. Now, a lot of people don't really necessarily categorize this movie as horror just because it is a part of the X trilogy. I don't personally see it as a horror movie. Can I be honest with you guys? Like, when I think Pearl, I'm not thinking horror, you know? Like, even though, yes, Pearl technically is like the main killer in the X movie, but Pearl to me is just more of a psychological thriller slash drama, because you do get to watch her struggle with her life and her dream of becoming a star and all that stuff. So yeah, Pearl though, I thought it was a really good movie. I really liked Pearl. I think it was one of my favorites out of that year. I don't even know what year that was. Was that last year? Was Pearl last year? I don't even remember anymore, guys. I lose track of the time, okay? But anyways, we are not here to talk about neither X nor Pearl, okay? We're here to talk about Maxine, okay? First of all, Mia Goth, what a woman, okay? I love her so much. I loved her in all three of these movies. This movie, however, whoa. Okay, whoa. If I could describe Maxine in one word, it would be whoa. I, for starters, loved her performance. She absolutely killed it, literally. And she was just such a like badass woman, where it's like she literally has no fear of being out in the streets at night, knowing that there is a serial killer out in LA trying to stalk girls and murdering them. Okay, now listen, I want to just mention something. This isn't necessarily a spoiler, by the way. This is a spoiler free review, but I am just going to clarify something for those of you who are kind of wondering, like, is this really about the Night Stalker, like the legitimate Night Stalker, the actual serial killer known as the Night Stalker that was, you know, killing people? Technically speaking, without spoiling anything, this movie does reference the real life Night Stalker. However, the actual killer in this movie is not the Night Stalker. That's just what they call him in this, because they are referencing the fact that, like, you know, the Night Stalker was an actual serial killer from Los Angeles who terrorized these women, and, like, you know, people would fear being out at night because of him. It's almost as if like it's like a, I don't want to say like inspiration, but that's almost what it felt like, because technically when you watch this movie, if you ever watch this movie, no, the Night Stalker in this movie is not the real life Night Stalker from, you know, real life. It's not, okay? But they do reference them. They do reference him, by the way, because in the movie, in the beginning and at the end, they do showcase these like news reports of like when the real life Night Stalker was, like, you know, on the news and stuff. They do reference all that stuff. And you know, I personally, for one, the only reason why I'm even saying this is because I thought when this movie was coming out, I thought it was literally based on the real life Night Stalker that actually was killing people. But when I watched this movie, I was like, okay, it's not the real Night Stalker. Like, this isn't the, you know, the serial killer that everyone knows. Okay, yeah, you know, Maxine, she was such a badass in this movie that she literally, like, she didn't care. She was like, I'm fearless. I have been through a lot. Technically speaking, yes, she has. Okay, nothing can scare her anymore because she has already been through a lot when, you know, when Pearl and all that stuff. But also, this movie, I do appreciate the fact that this movie didn't ignore the fact that, you know, Maxine had almost been killed by Pearl in the AX movie. This movie does give like flashbacks every now and then to the X movie, and it's basically showing like her and like her fear and stuff, and basically this like trauma that, you know, got left on Maxine. And one thing I will say too that I'm really proud of, the girls in Hollywood in films. So at least she made it, you know, she's a star like she wanted to. Now, I will say one more thing about this serial killer in this movie, because obviously this movie, it's kind of like a whodunit type of serial killer where it's like, who is the serial killer? Is it gonna be one of the friends? Is it gonna be the cop? Who is it? You know, it's one of those movies, obviously, because you don't know the identity of this this serial killer. However, I will say, obviously I'm not gonna spoil who the killer is, but I will say it did catch me by surprise who it was. Like, this was one of those movies where I kept thinking to myself, like, every character that would pop up on screen, I'd be like, it's gonna be him, it's gonna be them, it's gonna be her. Like, I would think that every time a character would pop up on screen, and then it turns out it wasn't, you know. Like, the killer, after I realized who it was, I was like, how did I not think that? But at the same time, I liked that because it literally caught me off guard. I was like, oh shoot, that makes sense, you know. So yeah, I think this is one of those exciting movies where it's like you're dying to find out who the killer is, and then when you do, you're just like, whoa, how did I not think that? Like, that's genius, you know. I thought this deal with the killer and who they are is genius. Okay, I'm not going to talk about every single character in this movie. However, I'm going to talk about another side slash main character, which was, I forgot the character's name, but Kevin Bacon's character. First of all, I don't know about you guys, I love Kevin Bacon. I think he plays such good roles, and he's always in all these like thriller movies and stuff, and I like him in all of these movies. I really do. Like, I don't know, like, am I the only one who's a big fan of Kevin Bacon? Like, I think he's such a good actor. I think he plays these like characters really well. In this movie, however, his character did get like annoying and stuff, so, you know, there is that. But I will say he knew how to play the character well, so I appreciated that from Kevin himself. And yeah, the last thing I will say, I personally give this movie, honestly, I would probably give this movie like, I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's definitely not my favorite from the X trilogy. If I had to be honest with you guys, if you guys asked me to rank the X trilogy, I'd probably do my ranking very similar to how I did my ranking for the Blumhouse Halloween movies, where I would literally rank them from the order they came out in, okay? Where it's like X is my favorite, then Pearl, then Maxine. Maxine, it's not a bad movie, it's not, but it honestly does feel different compared to the other two. But to be honest, that's the same thing with Pearl. Pearl felt very different than X. So I like that these three movies were like, they connect, but they all have different vibes to them. Like, they all are very different films, and I really appreciated that. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the very first time A24 has ever done a type of series like this, like a trilogy series. So that's really cool. I think, you know, if I'm wrong, I don't know if that is true or not, but I do love these movies. I do, honestly. And Mia Goth, like I said, that woman, oh my god, that woman can step on me. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did, please make sure to leave me a like. Please make sure to subscribe to your girlie, okay? And before I go, I just want to let you guys know that I do have a podcast with my best friend Fatima, okay? We just released episode 2 officially, okay? I know it took us like a month or two to release episode 2, but we're really trying to push this podcast, guys. We're really trying to, like, you know, get the hang of like trying to film every like now and then, you know. I don't think we can do episodes every week. At least I don't think so, because the way we're just so busy. But you know, we're trying, guys. Okay, we are trying. But in the meantime, you guys can check out the first 2 episodes. Okay, they will be linked in the description. Okay, and I'll also leave a playlist probably at the end of this video if you guys want. And also don't forget to check out some of my other videos. Okay, I do all sorts of videos. Okay, literally just go through my channel and you'll see a bunch of random videos. Okay, but I do have other horror movie reviews, so if you guys are interested in these, feel free to check them out. Okay, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Really quick before I go, you guys, I did completely forget to mention on my Wattpad account. You guys know I have a Wattpad account. That's where I write all my stories and stuff. I do have 2 books officially on there. I write horror books as of right now, so I do have 2 on there. My book Tom just recently released. It didn't do as big as my first book, the Slumber Party Massacre, but you guys can definitely check those books out. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is because I did release, and I did announce this yesterday on my Instagram, if you guys saw, I did release a brand new short story. And the reason why I released it very soon is because as of right now there's only 1 chapter, and that's because it's a short story, right? But here's the thing, I want to add more stories to this book specifically. So right now you only get 1 story, but then maybe like if I get a chance next week, you can get another brand new story. Every chapter is a different story, meaning new characters, new plot, new story and stuff. And it is a short horror story, and it is called My Skin is Walking, and it's basically short stories based on skinwalkers. Okay, if you guys don't know, I'm into all this like paranormal horror stuff. Okay, I love it all. It entertains me so much. And one of my biggest fascinations recently when it comes to like watching all these like ghost videos or hearing all these ghost stories is skinwalkers, and they have inspired me to write my own short stories based on skinwalkers. Once again, the book is called My Skin is Walking, and I will leave it linked down below. It is on my Wattpad account. Like I said, you guys can get the first story now for free, and then every now and then I will be uploading more and more stories on there, so you guys can get a bunch of different stories added to that. I don't know how many stories I'm gonna write as of right now, but you know, for the meantime, just enjoy the one that I already wrote. And yeah, look out for more stories, and also follow me on Wattpad. Read my other books if you guys are interested. They are horror slasher books, so if you guys are interested in that, please make sure to check them out, and look forward to more books as well. So yeah, that is all I wanted to say. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.